Welcome back to SlashBack Cinema, where we resurrect the best and weirdest horror from the 70s and 80s, and sometimes wander into gems from the 90s. I'm Shawnee.
And I'm Ryan. This week we're flatlining with Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, and Kevin Bacon, because nothing says med school bonding like taking turns dying.
It's a stylish, moody, existential thriller full of guilt, ghosts, and great hair.
So grab your defibrillator and moral compass.
So, Flatliners, do you remember seeing this movie? This is the year we graduated high school and started college.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw this movie, and it's like
Really?
hard to believe that I never saw this movie. Like it was like right in the space of like Jacob's Ladder. I kept thinking of that movie when I was watching this,
Yes.
and Ghost, and I mean, what in '90, like there's a stack of movies that came out that I was sitting there watching it, like I never saw this movie, and I don't know how I did not see this movie. Did you see it back?
Yes, I
the
did
day?
see it back then. And it's funny, I had the same thought you did. I wrote in my notes that this was the same year that Jacob's Ladder came out, and it was also the same year Ghost came out. All three of these movies, Ghost, Jacob's Ladder, and Flatliners, they look really similar to each other. They all
Yes.
have this dark, gritty city. There's always like very anxious, anxiety-producing like train sequences where there's like monsters on trains or your train is descending into hell. You walk along the street and there's like trash cans on fire.
Yeah, totally. Like, as every time they were like walking from point A to point B, apparently they had to take the sketchiest, garbage-ridden trash can on fire alley where you're like, this is really the only way to navigate
Right.
Chicago.
Right. The thing I wanted to point out to you was it's not just the visual that makes all three of these movies, Jacob's Ladder, Ghost, and Flatliners, similar. They also, all three have this supernatural theme of when you die, there is something beyond that. It's surprising to me how in 1990 these three big movies dropped and they all look similar and they all have this similar kind of supernatural vibe.
Yeah.
And it's about letting go of your past and accepting your future and who you really are.
Yeah, that hit me, and those three movies together, like I was thinking the same thing.
Flatliners is directed by Joel Schumacher, and he directed another movie that we talked about
Lost
that had
Boys,
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, Lost
Right,
Boys.
yeah.
So we'll get into it, but let's do our summary first.
So, Flatliners from 1990. So this was the original one. It's a story about this group of ambitious medical students, and they're led by this guy, Nelson, who decides he's going to engage in these experiments that involve near-death experiences, and they intentionally are stopping their hearts to glimpse what's beyond death. But when they come back, something's coming with them. And so the story sort of follows their experiences dying and then coming back, and what's coming through from their past, their sins, and the terrifying ways that what they did and the guilt that they carried over these years happens to catch up with them with these near-death experiences.
I'm shocked that you did not see this movie. I
I
didn't
know!
think that'd be possible.
So I don't know why. It's definitely a gap. I
And-
apologize to our listeners and to you personally.
The reason why this seems like a Ryan movie is it's a horror movie. Plus, it has that like supernatural element to it. You were just your whole life you've been fascinated with what happens when you die, or is there a way to like reach into another kind of plane of existence? And so this movie just seemed totally up your alley.
Yeah, definitely. And what a cast too. It
Holy
was,
cow! Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, William Baldwin, Oliver Platt, and Kevin Bacon, who we remembered him from Tremors.
And I feel like that the guy Oliver Platt never gets any love. So good job, Oliver, for showing up in this one too.
Really, I have the question, why is Oliver Platt in this movie in my notes? He seems like the least relevant character. He's the only one in the group that doesn't go under and that like die and get brought back. And he's just like recording it, but he doesn't move the plot forward. He doesn't experience any trauma from his childhood. It felt like to me like his whole character could have been cut out. Was he supposed to be the comic relief of this movie? I didn't get it.
Unclear. Yeah, he's sort of buzzkill. Like, come on, dude. Get with the program. Get on the table. Stop your heart.
Right.
Why are you dragging down the party?
Do you remember in the movie Aliens, the guy that goes, "We're doomed, man. We're dead meat. We're gonna die."
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
That was Oliver Platt in this movie. It felt like all he ever did was say, "This is a terrible idea. We're never gonna make it. Oh, we can't bring him back."
What? The school's going to kick you out. What's this doing to your future?
Yes. Right. I don't know. So I didn't get it. I didn't understand, like, why is he even in this movie?
Yeah, it seemed like they could have cut that right out of the script.
Speaking of things they could cut out of the script, so Kiefer Sutherland has this idea that he needs to die, and then his friends are going to bring him back, and then he'll come back and explain what the afterlife is like. And then they all decide to do it. And Julia Roberts is like, oh, I want to try it. And then Bacon's like, I want to try it. And part of what was fascinating about watching this movie is I did not remember it correctly. So that's always really interesting when you and I go back to one of these movies and realize, oh, it's not how we thought it was.
So
I thought,
what were you misremembering? Yeah.
what I remembered is that when one of the characters dies, and these are all like kids in medical school, so they're like medically killing them by like injecting something into them, but then they're using the paddles and bringing it back and doing CPR and intubating. My recollection was they easily brought back each one of them. Like it was like he dies, they basically push a button, they bring him back to life, and then they talk about it. But no, there's like 4 scenes in this movie where one of their friends goes under, dies for 2 to 5 minutes, and then all the people that are alive who are in medical school are panicking trying to bring them back every time.
All right, atropine intratracheal. Come on. That is a truckload, Dave. This has got to work. This has got to work. Come on back, Nelson. Come on back, man. Come on.
And all of the people who go under have seen their friend go under and barely come back. And they just repeat that scene like 4 times. I couldn't believe how often that happened. And also how they, every single time, they barely managed to bring the guy back. And there was like this long sequence of panic, and they're all screaming medical jargon to each other.
Do the lighting.
Damn it, he won't hold the beat.
3 minutes.
Starting CPR. 1,000.
Atropine in.
1,000. Joe, keep filming. I'm gonna bring him back.
At one point, they had a needle full of something. They're like, "You're gonna fry her, man! Don't inject it!"
We're moving to beryllium.
No, it's the only way. No, it's our last chance. Don't do it. You will fry her.
Seems like they should have a better system in place if you're really volunteering to go longer and be the next in line, because whatever they've set the time target as for being dead, it always runs over because they can't get their shit together.
Right. So they keep nearly killing their friends.
Let me ask you this question, because watching this movie, and I thought it was definitely an interesting premise, but I watched the whole movie thinking to myself, 2 thoughts on this. Nelson, played by Kiefer Sutherland, I never really understood what his motivation was to do this. Like, they didn't really sell it to me as like he had some compelling reason to do this experiment. I think they start the movie and he's like, "Oh, today is a good day to die," and it's like, well, why? Like, but they build Julia Roberts' character, Rachel. There's a little bit more depth to her story as to why she might want to participate in this activity with her father and whatnot from her past and her childhood. But with Nelson, I was like, why is he doing this? Like, what's his motivation? So what was your take on that?
My take was there's problems with this script. Like all of the characters, their motivations for doing a lot of things they do is a little questionable. Like, they're just not very well written characters. I mean, these are like kind of Brat Pack period actors. Billy Baldwin, Julia Roberts, who looks so young in this movie, and Kiefer Sutherland.
I was like, wow.
Kiefer Sutherland, I thought, looked younger in this movie than he did in the vampire movie. I just couldn't believe they're supposed to be all in medical school and they look like children. It might be because when I saw this movie in 1990, I was 18 years old, and so they were like 25. And now
they're like so old. Yeah.
Right, now I'm twice as old as them, and they're exactly the same age. So all of them look like children to me. I'm like, I would not trust this group of people to bring me back to life from the dead. I did remember this. Julia Roberts has this like trauma with her father who had killed himself, and so she's obsessed with the afterlife. But the rest of them, I mean, Kiefer Sutherland just talks about he wants to go in the history books as someone who has, like explored. Like there's a speech in the movie about how we've explored the oceans, we've explored space.
Right.
But that's it. One thing I was really curious to ask you, if you had the ability to like stop your brain for 2 minutes, and then if you could be 100% sure that you could definitely be brought back, would you do this thing that they're doing to see what happens when you die?
I don't think so. I think I would I'd rather get a hold of some DMT or lick a toad and have that type of experience versus like feel like I'm intentionally killing myself to accident. Like I feel like that's going to happen eventually. There's no need to rush it. Like,
that's interesting.
So,
I feel like had I asked College Ryan, he would have been like, if there's 100% chance I could be brought back, I might give it a shot. I might take a swing at that bat.
Yeah. Now, I feel like as I've gotten older, my appetite to jump out of planes and bungee dive has been curtailed a bit. So this is the reasonable elder statesman at this point providing my take on it. Well, I mean, would you?
No. Nothing these characters did in this movie appealed to me at all.
All right. So let's. We've got a lot of notes, but let's jump into scenes. And I think one of the ones that stood out to me, I'm not going to put his favorite scene because I don't know. Like when I was watching this movie, I was expecting more Jacob's Ladder type, which was, as we talked about in that episode, very disturbing. It really gets under your skin. It just does such a, like you felt like you went to a different place.
Right. You're expecting it to be more surreal and more like,
So when the film shows Nelson, our main protagonist, Kiefer, he goes under, comes back, and then he comes around the corner and there's this kid there. And this was a kid from like this vision that he had when he was dead. I'm sort of expecting some demon shot or whatever. But the scene is basically this kid that he terrorized, Billy Mahoney, back in his day, who just like starts beating the shit out of him.
Yes.
You're just watching it and you're like, A, it looks so ridiculous. And B, you're just like, what? What the fuck is this?
Right. Billy Mahoney, who I'm pretty sure in the movie they indicate is 8 years old. I don't think that actor was 8 years old. And the kid has like supernatural strength. And when he punches him, Kiefer Sutherland goes flying.
Right. Gets him with a hockey stick in one scene. Another scene, he's trying to take him out with some ice pick thing or whatever. Yeah, it was perplexing. Like I kept, in my notes, I was like, why is the afterlife just filled with kids from the playground that you gave shit to back in the day?
Right.
The other
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon scene, like, is him having this interaction with this girl that he bullied in school. And it's like, I was like, what is going on with this movie? It didn't get interesting to me until they really kind of got the Rachel Julia Roberts character. Like, I thought that was a much better done.
Yeah. But so Kevin Bacon is like the first guy to realize that he needs to apologize. And he does. He goes back he tracks down the woman, he apologizes, and then like the trauma ends. Like his horror movie is over at that point. Way to go.
Yeah. But like end of story.
Right. Now, Billy...
It's a little bit more complicated for David because, for Nelson, because the guy that you come to find out that the kid he was giving a hard time to, he actually killed him.
Yes.
Whoops.
Yes. Yeah. It is weird that like half the cast were horrible bullies in high school. Or middle school even. Yeah, they were terrible people. There's he throws rocks at a kid. A kid climbs up in a tree to get away from him. And then little Kiefer Sutherland throws a rock. The kid falls out of the tree. Not filmed especially well. It's a little weird.
It's like 10 minutes of falling. Arms are like kind of like branches are coming down. And then they had to show the branches because one of the branches actually crushes his dog also. So it's like a double whammy. Like you killed a kid and you hurt your dog. You maimed your dog. Like this he is a piece of shit.
Right. Yeah.
So the final scene with Nelson, Kiefer's character, essentially he goes back and has this interaction with what was the kid's name? Billy Mahoney, that he was tormenting all these years, and he's the one that gets cornered in the tree.
Right. So the way the movie fixes it is Kiefer goes under a second time, and then Billy Mahoney knocks him out of a tree, and then Kiefer dies. And then like maybe there's one version of the script where like that's how it ends, and then Kiefer Sutherland dies. But no, because Kevin Bacon is such an extraordinary doctor, he does that thing that you see in movies where they do everything they can to try to save him. And then when Kiefer's character is dead, it's been like 10 minutes, he's been brain dead. Kevin Bacon just starts punching him in the chest, which I'm not sure that is medically, I don't know that many doctors would encourage that technique.
Well, no, doesn't he grab the pals and he shocks him? He's like wailing on him. And you're just like, well, easy, buddy.
And 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Forget about it, Dave. We lost him. No, you son of a bitch.
Stop it! David, stop it!
Don't stop him.
It's a funny idea that, like, if you're a bully in the afterlife, somebody has to bully you, and then you're square, you're even. It's all
Yeah,
worked out.
yeah. You just gotta go through it.
And then I did
Yeah.
remember Julia Roberts' plot. The thing that's traumatizing her is that her father committed suicide, which is like really different than what the other kids are going through. And so she's kind of being haunted by her dad. Was there anything scary when like her dad would come back, or like at one point there's
mean,
a body on a table and it rises up and it's her dead dad?
yeah, I actually thought that was probably the creepiest stuff in this film, or just got under his skin the most, was that whole, because when her dad starts coming back, she's like seeing him in the mirror, sees him on the table come back, and then they keep flashing to this scene. But I thought it was actually a well portrayed childhood trauma. With she would It's clearly her home from her childhood, and then you're seeing these steps, and there's toys on the steps, and something happens in the bathroom with her dad, but you can't quite see. You just keep seeing him from the back, and then the mom's yelling, and eventually they do show this scene of essentially when he takes his own life. Happens outside, but when she goes back in that final time, and then goes into the bathroom, and then actually sees what's happening, it's like her dad is back
Mhm.
from, you assume, Vietnam or something, and he's shooting up heroin in the
Yeah.
bathroom, and then she starts crying, and then they hug. Like, I actually thought I was moved by that scene.
Really, that worked for you?
I thought that was pretty powerful and held up. Like, that was the only moment in the film that I was like, wow, this is like got some heavy duty kind of Jacob's Ladder-esque
Yeah.
level type stuff.
Yeah, drama. It's similar to, I thought, the Billy Mahoney thing, where the way it's solved is she just has to, in the afterlife, have a single interaction with her dad. Like he's appearing as this kind of like malevolent figure who's frightening her, but similar to Jacob's Ladder, they're only frightened because they don't understand what they're seeing, or they don't understand that these like beings from their childhood are reaching out to them. Like her dad was not trying to harm her. And then they do the cheesy thing where like she looks in a mirror and then she sees her dead dad standing there and she turns around and he's gone. I felt
Right.
like, wow, there's a lot of cliches of
Yeah.
the scares in this movie were almost all jump scares. They were almost all, "Ah." And then I did not find many sequences to be like the gurney scene in Jacob's Ladder,
No, no.
which is just surreal and horrifying and just gets more and more frightening the more you watch it. There was nothing here that was like scary and then just kept getting more and more intense. Every frightening scene just basically ends pretty quickly.
Yeah, I would not really call this a. I know they put this in psychological horror category, but yeah, it's pretty light on the horror. Going back to the Rachel thing, I will say, like with her dad, I thought what worked about that is, and it happens a lot with ghosts or ghost stories, is like they keep coming back because there's something unresolved. So
Right.
in terms of, he was never able to say goodbye, or she was never able to say, I love you. Like, so it that felt much more believable to me, that scene where they were resolving this thing that was
Right.
unresolvable, but being brought together in that moment. Like that, if there was more of that in this movie, I felt like it would have been a lot stronger. One thing I wanted to just bring up, and I was thinking about, was I was a bit let down by how they brought the afterlife to life in this film.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a movie like Altered States, which was like just kind of wild to the other side, and just so wacky and bonkers. And I feel like this came up in one of the reviews that I read about this film, like saying that had such just like a vision and style to it around like accessing things that are beyond the normal state of consciousness. And in this one, I felt like it was, like you said, it was a little bit Wizard of Ozzy, like
Mhm.
in terms of I'm falling from a tree. And
Yeah.
Joel Schumacher in this actually had the same kind of like flying camera over the landscape thing that showed up in Lost Boys through the
Yeah.
clouds. Like I was like, for as interesting as some of the sets were in this film and the lighting and stuff, when they got to the afterlife stuff, I was like, this is kind of, I feel like the vision wasn't there.
Right.
I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, it's funny. When people think of Joel Schumacher, I don't know how long this is going to be stuck to him, but what they remember is he directed 2 Batman movies, and then one of them, Batman and Robin, he put nipples on the bat suit, and Batman fans lost their ever-loving minds. And so to people our age, who I feel like who are into comic books and comic book movies, I feel like Joel Schumacher is persona non grata, like he's hated for what he did in that Batman and Robin movie. But he also did a lot of like famous movies that had a lot of that were really popular and successful. He did St. Elmo's Fire, he did The Lost Boys, but there's not much about his directing style that I thought was like that interesting. And you're right, his vision of like what the afterlife is. I mean, even granting that in the 80s, what you can do with special effects is pretty limited, I didn't find it all that creative. I feel bad talking about him this way because he died. But
sorry, Joel. I didn't realize we were disparaging your legacy. But
and he had this like enormous career. Like he started directing movies in the 70s, and then was directing straight through the 2010s. So he was around for like 40 years.
We are totally host, man, because when we both die, we're gonna like be running into Joel Schumacher in our afterlife experience, and he's gonna be beating us up in the hall. Oh, talk smack about my movie. Okay, you like Jacob's Ladder, Flatliners. What the hell?
No, what we're gonna say is, oh, Joel, we love the Lost Boys. Maybe he's a fan of the podcast, but he stopped listening after like the first 10 episodes. So the way we gush about the Lost Boys, I think we should just if we see
You're
him,
saying
we
we're
should
covered.
I think we should ask for his autograph. Yes.
Okay. All right.
And
God.
Joel, if you're hearing this, sorry to bring up that nipple thing again. I know that's really been following you around. You want to give us a stabby score? Are we there?
Yeah, let's do it. As we often talk about, and people are probably sick of us saying this, but you are thinking about stabby scores the whole time you watch it. And
yes.
There's two, I would say, frameworks for what we do here on SlashBack Cinema. One is the land of schlock, which we know these movies are going to be bad, but that's part of what makes them good, and it's it's a whole package, and it's a whole framework and a way to think about a film, enjoying its badness. Then the other bucket is these more mainstream, grade A Hollywood films, and I feel like that brings a different lens to how you watch and experience a movie. Like I think this is going to be rated in the same way as, say, The Uninvited. It's probably not a fair way to judge this film. So they're two different buckets. So
Yes.
we're here in grade A Hollywood film, and watching this.
All right. So let me set this up.
Yes.
So instead of stabby scores, I think we should do how many beeps you give this on the vital signs monitor from the hospital, because the movie's obsessed with that machine. So
okay.
How many beeps would you give this movie, Ryan?
I'm going to provide this movie with the vital signs framework 3 beeps.
Forget about it, Dave. We lost him. No, you son of a bitch. Dave, don't stop it.
It's got a great cast. It's very stylish in terms of set dressing and cast and all that. It's great. I think the afterlife, like I said before, is a total letdown. Like the fact that at the afterlife isn't this like surreal thing. It's kind of the bullies or the kids you bullied come back and physically beat you up in this world.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, what? And I still don't even know why they did all these experiments. The only one that was believable was Rachel. So I'm giving it a 3 vital signs, 3
That's
beeps. Yeah.
really interesting because you had never seen it before, or at least you don't remember having seen it. I do remember seeing it, and in my memory it was great. And then I watched it last night in preparation for this conversation, and it was just the number of beeps were dropping. It's just like this patient was slowly expiring.
It's Flatliners, fucking flatline.
Yes, exactly. So I give it 2 beeps.
2 beeps. Okay.
The only time I've given a movie 1 beep is when I'm sorry I watched it at all. And it actually made my life worse to have seen it. I didn't feel that, but I thought it was way too long. It was not very creative. It was not very scary. Some of the dialogue was like wince-inducing, and then even really good actors like this could not pull it off. Okay, hey, Ryan, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Shall we play a game?
I'd love to play a game.
So this Flatliners came out in 1990. And to come up with a quiz idea, I thought, who famous died in 1990? Who flatlined that I could generate some quiz questions about? And I was horrified to see that a hero of mine, maybe of yours, Jim Henson, died in 1990.
Damn! Wow.
talk about a guy that did not have to. There's no way Jim Henson ever bullied anybody. He didn't have any reckoning at his death. I think he just goes straight to heaven. He takes the Excella train and just goes right up there. That's a good man, that Jim Henson.
Yeah.
All of my questions today are about the TV show from the late 70s and early 80s, The Muppet Show. Were you a fan of The Muppet Show, Ryan?
I was a fan, although I wonder, I'm questioning the extent and depth of my Muppet Show knowledge, but I'm game.
Yes.
Bring it on.
Okay,
Yeah.
so first question. What were the names of the two Muppets that sat in the balcony and criticized everyone? I have 4 options for you, but do you think you know it without me giving you any options?
I'm gonna need a prompt.
All right.
I know they're the old dudes.
I'm really glad that you're asking for this because I did really enjoy coming up with names for these guys. Ryan, were their names Stetson and Walcott? Were their names Statler and Waldorf? Were their names Stapler and Waldash? Or were their names Stanley and Walthrop?
God
Do you want me to do it again?
It's either the second or the fourth one.
Second one is Statler and Waldorf, and the fourth one is Stanley and Walthrop.
I'm going the last one, Stanley.
Stanley and Walthrop is incorrect. It was Statler and Waldorf.
Damn it.
I found out that they were named after New York hotels.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Well, what would you know, you old fool?
Okay. Well, Ryan, I thought that was an easy one, so we're going to see how fast this thing goes downhill. Question number 2. In the TV series The Muppet Show, Rolf the dog is mainly seen playing what kind of musical instrument? Saxophone, guitar, drums, or piano? Do you remember Rolf the dog?
Yes. Saxophone.
He played the piano. All right. This third one here, piece of cake.
Setting it on fire here.
There's no way you get this wrong. On The Muppet Show, there was a science fiction parody. What was it called? Was it Ham Wars? Was it Swine Trek? Was it Pigs in Space? Or was it Oinkstar Galactica?
Go through it again. Those are good.
Sure. Ham Wars, Swine Trek, Pigs in Space, or Oinkstar Galactica?
I feel like it's either Ham Wars or Pigs in Space. I'm going Pigs in Space.
It was Pigs in Space.
Oh.
Hey, you don't remember the theme song? Pigs in Space! I thought maybe that would stick in your head. No? I'm sorry to say these might be getting a little harder, but let's see. So I found out there are very few Muppets that actually used human hands as part of their puppet. But one that did needed human hands because he would manipulate things so carefully and hilariously that they couldn't do it with those little felt arms. They needed an actual human hands to actually manipulate stuff. So which Muppet is the only one that utilizes actual human hands? Was it the Swedish Chef? Was it Animal? Or was it Big Bird?
Oh, damn. I thought Kermit the Frog had a hand in there.
He had these little felt wavy hands. Don't you remember him doing this?
Yeah, but he had a hand in him manipulating his. But you're talking
right,
the actual
no, I'm talking
hands.
about actual 5 fingers, like a human hand that was manipulating stuff to interact with it.
Swedish Chef.
It was the Swedish Chef. Yeah, he had to cook. But yeah, a question that I rejected was, what was the Swedish Chef's famous tagline? Do you happen to remember what it is? Because you practically just said it. It was boink, boink, boink. He would say those little words and then he would say boink, boink, boink. All right. The next question is about Frank Oz. Frank Oz, he was a director. He was also the voice of Yoda. My question for you about Frank Oz, which Muppet did Frank Oz not voice? So I'm going to give you 4 choices. Mm-hmm. He voiced 3 of them, did not voice one of them. Was it Miss Piggy? Was it Fozzie Bear? Was it Animal? Or was it Gonzo?
It's either Animal or Gonzo. I think it's Gonzo.
It was Gonzo. Yes. I think you got 3 right. You got Pigs in Space, Swedish Chef, and Gonzo. Yeah. You're actually getting stronger as you go.
Just had to warm up.
All right. This one is going to be a musical question. And so I'm not only will have to share my screen, but I'm going to have to share my audio. Okay. So Ryan, the Muppet Show opening theme song, Do you remember that? It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. Okay, so the song ends. I'm going to play for you the ending of the song, the build-up. And I beeped out one of the words, and then I'm going to tell you what 4 possibilities are the word. And I'll play it for you twice if you need it twice. You ready?
Okay. This is the end.
This is the ending of the Muppet Show theme song. You ready?
Okay.
It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational. This is what we call the Muppet Show.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to tell you the 4 possibilities, and then I'll play it one more time. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
What word did I beep out there? Ryan, this is the thing that took me. This is why we started late today. I had to download that song, isolate that word, and then beep it out. So, What is the missing word in the closing lyrics of the Muppet Show theme song? Is it motivational, muppetational, recreational, or educational? All right. Motivational, muppetational, recreational, or educational. Ready?
All right.
It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational. This is what we call the Muppet Show.
They say most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, and then is the next word motivational, muppetational, recreational, or educational?
It's either motivational or muppetational.
Well, you've got it down to 50-50 every time.
Anyway, I'm feeling like it's motivational because I don't think Muppets lived in the land of Smurfs. It was like, Smurfitational.
The actual correct answer is muppetational. So then I had to sit around this morning and come up with words that rhymed with muppetational.
Motivation, well played.
All right, here's your last question. So right after, at the end of the song, you may remember that the logo comes down, and then one of the characters blows a trumpet, and then something wacky happens. It doesn't make a trumpet sound, or it makes a weird animal sound, or an explosion happens. So my question is, who is the character that blows that trumpet and things go haywire? Was it Gonzo, Fozzie Bear, Scooter, or Animal? Who blows the trumpet at the end of the song when things go haywire?
It's either Scooter or Gonzo. I'm going Gonzo.
It was Gonzo. Way to go.
Thank God.
I think, so you got Gonzo, then you got Frank Oz voice Gonzo, you got the Swedish Chef, you got Pigs in Space. So that's 4? 4 out of 7?
Yeah, not
Not
okay.
bad. I mean, I wouldn't call you
sort of like Flatliners. Okay, it's all right.
I wouldn't call you a Muppet scholar, but you know what? You pulled it out.
That wraps up another trip down memory lane. Hopefully you enjoyed revisiting Flatliners as much as we did.
Be sure to visit SlashBackCinema.com, where you'll find our merch store, as well as a link for donating to the show. Every bit helps, and we promise not to spend it all on defibrillators and medical malpractice insurance.
And we do want to hear from you. Got a favorite memory from the 70s or 80s, or maybe even the 90s? A classic horror movie you'd love us to dissect? Drop us a line at SlashBackCinema.com. Your suggestions keep the conversation alive. Now, I do want to know, fans, who said it better, me or Shawnee? So you send us a note. Let us know.
Thanks for tuning in to SlashBack Cinema. See you next week, assuming we make it back from the other side.
Well, Jen has accused me of having a strong, I don't say affinity or more of a likeness to a certain Muppet character. Would you like to guess?
I was going to ask you.
Which character that would be?
Do you have a favorite Muppet?
I'm just, if you look at me and you know me well, is there a certain Muppet that comes to your mind when you think of me?
That's it. So just physical look or personality?
Maybe both. Yeah.
How interesting. The Muppet that comes to mind,
yeah.
The Muppet that comes to mind in looks, but not in personality, is Scooter.
Scooter, interesting. Okay. Well, Jen accuses me of being the character Beaker being crafted around me. So
well, now that you say it, it's hard to unsee.